Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Priority Sauce bike. These days it seems like every bike has some kind of superlative attached to it, whether it's more aero, stiffer, or lighter than the previous variation, and they're all becoming more specialized. The Priority Sauce that we have in this review is something we describe as a funner bike. It's just a very cool combination of a lot of different features and components to give you a bomb-proof bike that you can just have fun with. As you can see here, we had it directly shipped to us. Priority is a direct-to-consumer design, so you order from the website and it arrives at your house. You could take this to a shop to have it assembled, but you can see it's very simple. It comes well packaged. A lot of protective gear over the frame to prevent it from getting dented during shipping. And then some basic assembly required. You just have to put the front wheel, handlebar, the seat post, and the pedals on. So something you can easily do with the provided tools. As far as specs on this bike, it is a very cool bike. It's only $800. But you get a lot of modern features. You get hydraulic disc brakes, the Gates carbon belt drive, which is low maintenance, will never rust, doesn't require any grease. And then this is where it gets really fun. You have Goodyear Peak 2.25-inch tires, so nice wide rubber, something you use on or off-road. You have internal routing for a dropper post, which is really unusual to see, especially at this price point. So you can easily integrate that into the bike. And then you have the integrated handlebar stem combination, which looks a lot like a BMX setup. So a very cool kind of mishmash, and you can see it's almost a cruiser, and it really can be anything. It's a bike designed just to get out and have fun. So it's really nice to see a bike that doesn't take itself seriously. They only have two color options. We have the gray variation here with the little white accents on the fork, but they also have a green color. Would have liked to see more spicy combinations, especially with a bike called the Sauce, but this is a pretty good starting point, and it's a nice looking bike. Assembly, again, very straightforward. You don't need to be a mechanic. You just add the pedals, slide in the seat post, just open up the clamp on there, slide it in, lock it into place. Make sure the minimum indicator is above the visible portion right above underneath the clamp. And then the front wheel, handlebars all kind of fall into place. You want to make sure you use a torque wrench or something at the end just to verify that everything's tight before you go on a ride and adjust the brake calipers if needed. So pretty simple, it takes about 20 to 30 minutes and takes more time taking off the protective gear. Now let's take a look at the fit and finish, the Priority Sauce. It's a very unique bike that combines a lot of retro elements like an old school mountain bike, modern day cruisers, commuters, and gravel bikes all kind of mishmashed into one. You can see you have a very slack geometry, so more of an endurance geometry, puts you upright. You have integrated handlebar stem, which is a really nice feature. Keeps it really uncluttered, and with a polished finish, looks really cool. And it reminds you a lot of a BMX bike. You can see how uncluttered it is because you don't have any gear selectors. It's a single speed bike with just the brake lever on the front and rear. And this is the 174 Hudson in-house brand for the brake calipers and some of the other components. You can see these are cable actuated hydraulic disc brakes, so a really nice combination, gives you smooth modulation and a lot of confidence on the road. On the front, you can see the cables route down. You have plenty of space between the wheel and the fork and hookups for fenders if you needed it. There's a simple white accent too on the fork, which kind of sets off the color. The seat post has a basic clamp, and again, more hookups for rear fenders with that cable round coming down. It is a swoopy frame, so a lot like the Priority Coast or other retro bikes with that cool Sauce icon on the down tube. You also have tamales on the seat tube, which is kind of a cool feature. Would have liked to see some more bright colors, but even the slate gray looks really nice. You have basic flat pedals, and you get the kickstand with the bike, so it's not an additional accessory. It makes it really easy to park this anywhere, whether you're on the road or off-road. It's an aluminum frame too, so you can see the exposed welds. You have the disc brakes on the rear. You can see they're post-mounted, so not as sleek as a direct mount road bike, but definitely a big improvement over rim brakes, and it makes the wheels a lot simpler and gives you a lot of confidence, so nice braking and very easy to adjust. The tires on here are 2.25-inch wide Goodyears, and they're mounted on 27.5 wheels, so really nice and grippy, and you can see tons of space to even go wider. What's kind of cool about this bike is that you do get a dropper internal routing, so the internal routing for cables are already set up, so you can just add a dropper post, route it through the frame for a very sleek look, and that's a really feature you don't typically see. You often have to route it externally. You can see the coolest part about the bike though is the belt drive. As with a lot of Priority bikes, they go with the belt drive, so it's low maintenance, really easy to set up and ride, and you don't really have to worry about it. They won't rust and they won't have to get greased. You just have to keep it clean. So dirt and debris just wash off and you're ready to ride. You can see the rear single speed. You have freewheel so you can just coast. But you do only have one gear, which does limit some of the versatility of the bike. You're not going to be able to do steep climbs, obviously. On the rear, again, you can see the other disc brake, which is post-mounted. And very sleek, again, really great confidence and feels good on the road. Although it's hard to categorize a priority sauce, it's kind of a weird mishmash of different categories. It can be a mountain bike, it can be a commuter, it can be a gravel bike, it can be all of them kind of wrapped up into one. I will say it's a very fun bike to ride. Really enjoyed riding it. It reminds us a lot of being a kid with a little BMX bike, especially with the BMX style handlebars, as it's something you can take off curbs. You can do little wheelies, you can go on dirt. So a nice bomb-proof design, unlike a road bike where you'd be kind of worried about damaging something. It's something you just throw around and have fun with. So as far as the bike itself, I think Priority is really successful. It's a bike that just gets you out there. And you can also ride this in various situations. So you can take it on-road, and you can even take it off-road with gravel riding or the pump track if you have one local to you. Now, being a single speed, the versatility is limited on this bike. You can't do really steep climbs unless you plan to walk. So you do have to be conscious of that. And even on flat roads, the gearing is pretty nice, but you can't go really fast as it's about midway. So I would describe it pretty well geared, and I think most people will be happy with it. So you can take it off-road again. The lack of gearing does limit it, but the hydraulic disc brakes really work well, so we're impressed with that. So you have a lot of confidence with them, unlike a rim brake, which can have poor braking performance. These hydraulic disc brakes really worked well and gave us a lot of confidence. The handlebars too are really comfortable, even though it's kind of a wide commuter style. They're very comfortable and give you nice responsiveness, so you can kind of throw this around corners and not have to worry about it. And again, that combination really looks good. As far as commuting with the bike, you can easily do that too. Because it's only $800, you won't feel bad if you get scratches or marks on it, so you can throw it on a train, throw it on a bus, whatever you need to do. But again, the wide tires here are a little better suited for off-road. So on the road, the 2.25-inch wide tires definitely have a lot of drag. So unlike a commuter or like the Priority Ace of Spades, which has skinny tires and better suited for longer distances, this one will definitely tire you out. So I wouldn't recommend doing long commutes with this bike. But if you have shorter commutes, if you live on campus, you live in the city, and things are all within a couple miles, it's a perfect bike for that. You are very upright, so it's unlike a road bike with endurance geometry. This one's a little less optimized, and with a dropper post, you could drop the seat post out of the way and kind of do more off-roading with it. But really cool overall combination of a lot of different features, and in the end of the day, it's just a fun bike to ride. Now let's go over the scorecard for the Priority Sauce. We're going to grade on 4 different categories: design, components, handling, and value. For design, we'd give it an A. It's a retro mashup. It's almost like an old school mountain bike combined with a more modern commuter or gravel bike. Components also an A. It's a low maintenance setup. You have the Gates carbon belt, aluminum frame, and hydraulic disc brakes. So a really nice setup. You even get the cool integrated handlebar design that reminds me a lot of a BMX bike. Handling is also an A. You have 27.5-inch tires, nice upright geometry, and you can even add the dropper post to really make this more fun for downhill riding. And for value, to give it an A. At $800 is a great deal. You get retro components, modern design, and just a really fun bomb-proof bike that you can have fun with. So whether you're just riding around town, hitting up gravel trails, it's just a really cool combination. It's not perfect for everything. Obviously, without the gear set and the thicker tires, you can't really do long commutes, and you can't really do steep climbs unless you want to walk. For everything in between, it's just a really fun N+1 style bike. Or if you're a on-campus type commuter, shorter distances, this is the perfect bike for that. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.